I want to show you how you can compress time and leap to the next level, like without any much extra effort. It's called Who Not How. What's up? I'm Keith Kalfas. Now, over the past couple years, I've learned this thing that's changed my whole paradigm. It's actually made me more money for real and less time. It's opened up and expanded my whole life and my horizons. It's so powerful. I read a book recently by Dan Sullivan. He's the strategic coach. He's this older guy who's coached thousands of, he's a big deal. Like Dan Sullivan, strategic coach. You can listen to his books on audible.com. So Who Not How is like, instead of saying, how do I do this? How do I manage the books in my business? How do I do all these different things, right? Excuse me. I'm drinking these juices, man. All right. How do I do all these things? And you're stressing yourself out because you're time bankrupt. You don't have any more time. You're doing everything you can every second of every single day. So you say, who can do this for me? Or who can help me do this? Or who can teach me how to do this to compress time? Who is an expert at this, who I can pay? Now, here's the interesting part. If you don't have a lot of money, I totally understand that. But let's just say you took a percentage of the money that you're making and you open up a separate savings account called education account. I'm not even a kid right now. And then you start peeling off 1% of the money that comes. Well, let's just say you make $5,000 a month and you just pull off, what's that, $5 bucks? Well, that's nothing. I don't know this. Tell me with the math. But what I'm saying is don't be afraid to get excited about spending or investing money on audiobooks, online courses, education. But the next step beyond all that is actually getting one-on-one coaching and mentorship, or attending live events or private mastermind groups, any of that stuff, where you can get around people who have already figured out what you're trying to do right now. And instead of you banging your head against the wall trying to figure it out yourself for the next 1, 2, 3, 5, I know. Facebook ads and YouTube ads. I've spent thousands of dollars in online courses, and I've spent literally hundreds of hours inside of learning Facebook and YouTube ads and all these different things, and trying to run them all myself while running a service business, while running an internet business. It kept falling apart. And I'm like, dude, I cannot go hire a Facebook ads guy. I got to learn this stuff. I'm the marketing guy. This is just one of many, many, many things. It could be employees. It could be tons of stuff, right? At some point, you got to go find someone else. So, like, for instance, I hired a Facebook ads guy. I get personal coaching and consulting. I attend private masterminds and workshops. Check that out and start thinking, who has the information that can teach me or do it for me, or can coach me one-on-one to get me through this process more quickly. I recently hired a consultant for $150 an hour to help me learn this whole new program called Monday.com. We run like the businesses on it. I can't even talk about it. It's this whole platform. And because I didn't know how to do it, right? And I was sitting there with my face red on these calls, paying $100 an hour, $150 an hour, like in total anxiety, feeling like exposed and vulnerable because it's a learning curve. Like there's no neurosynaptic connections in your brain that have even been built yet to deal with this new information. So you keep staying in what's uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable. But after about 5-6 calls, 5-6 hours of this stuff, boom, I'm getting pretty decent. And then I went and hired a project manager to manage and help me through this. And then we have weekly calls. So get on Zoom calls, get on phone calls, get around other people. Don't be afraid to spend them. Where do you find these people? Okay, next, where do you find these people? Word of mouth. Look around on Facebook groups, Upwork.com. I go to Upwork.com, Fiverr.com. Upwork.com is great. I have like 16 virtual assistants working for me from Upwork.com. I have 20 total right now. I think 16 when we're on Upwork. People that are dedicated to account specialists for running my ads for Facebook and YouTube. Project manager, graphic design, content syndication, a bookkeeper. That might sound insane to you. I don't know where you're at right now in your business or how many people you have working for you, but like I am not smart enough, and I do not have the time to do all this stuff myself, and I never had the money to do it all. So here's the thing: you have to find out who are you going to hire first, or who are you going to pay first to help you. You don't got to hire them full time, 45 hours a week on payroll and be on the hook. I'm talking you're finding freelance contractors that they have many clients themselves, and maybe they'll charge you $50 an hour to coach you or consult you, and then you just buy a couple hours of their time at a time. Simple. A couple times a month you get on the phone with them and they do a follow-up, a strategy call, a coaching session with you, and then you just enroll that in your thing. That becomes your coach or your consultant, right? And they help you get to the next level. So who's the most important person you should find first is somebody who has been through the minefield and been down all the rabbit trails and can help you get to where you want to get, because they've been there, and they can help you cut out all the fat and see the path and gain clarity, and then give you action steps. And at some point you're going to have to trust them and just kind of give up your control freakness, being a control freak, and just trust them and do what they say if it vibrates right with you. I'm a super control freak. I will a real hard time giving up control, but I'm learning more and more. You ain't going to grow to the next level unless you give up control and you start trusting other people to help you. And then your job is to become the facilitator. You facilitate them getting the result done, and you're hands off certain things, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Read the book, Dan Sullivan's Who Not How, and learn who can I find to do this for me or help me do this? Who can I delegate this to? Can I defer this thing or just delete it altogether and just get it off your list and don't do it anymore? And you say, well, who? That opens up a whole nother can of worms. So depending on how much money you got in the bank, your money is your runway before like you run out of money and you're homeless type of thing. Hopefully you're not at that point. I've been there. It sucks. But so you might have to continue doing what you're doing and then save up a certain amount of money to the point where you feel comfortable that you can go hire a coach and consultant. You might have to suffer it out another 3, 6, 9, 12 months. That's what I did. I suffered it out, and instead of upgrading my lifestyle, I saved up some money so I felt safe and comfortable. I said, I'm going to take this money, keep working, but now I'm going to start investing in my education. Now I'm going to start hiring coaches and consultants. I ain't going to go upgrade my lifestyle and be dumb on a higher lifestyle and not know anything new. Go invest in your education. So it buys you money, buys you the time to slow your roll a little bit and get back to the drawing board and assess your life. And I think that hiring coaches and consultants, live workshops, getting around private mastermind groups, and people that have done it already are people that can literally help vibrate into this higher dimension to where it just becomes clear to you. Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking you were at when you created the problem. You must rise to a new level of thinking, a higher level of consciousness. So think about that. Get around super successful people, sometimes at all costs. Whatever you got to do, if you got to even go across the country to get around successful people and learn from them, boom, the answers will become clear to you when you're in these fully immersive, transformational environments, whether it be on a Zoom call, on a phone call, or in person. You got to get around successful people, even if you have to pay them, and that'll take you to the next level. I hope that serves you.